Hi there, and welcome to The Works. I'm Ben Shea.
And I'm Ben Peltier. In part 2 of today's show, we'll be looking at December's Free Space Fest, which featured music, performances, dance, and more, and which was designed to give us a preview of what the West Kowloon Cultural District's planned Free Space will be all about.
In part 1, though, we're looking at an American artist who completely changed the face of art, even though there's still disagreement today about whether it was a change for the good or for the bad. He's Andy Warhol.
Last year was the 25th anniversary of his death, and to mark that anniversary, the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, has put together a traveling exhibition of more than 450 pieces. It's currently on show at the Hong Kong Museum of Art.
Andy Warhol was a pioneer of the pop art movement, but he took pride in being more than just a visual artist. He was also the founder of a magazine, manager of a rock band, creator of events like the exploding Plastic Inevitable multimedia show, a filmmaker, and a bona fide celebrity. The touring exhibition, Andy Warhol, 15 Minutes Eternal, currently on show at the Hong Kong Museum of Art, represents the many faces of Warhol.
There are dozens of prime examples of his commercial illustrations from the 1950s, but you'll also see a lot of examples of work from the 70s and 80s where Warhol is looking to mainstream trends in society, looking at consumerism through a different lens, painting the dollar sign in many different configurations, looking at advertising from the 1980s.
我哋喺每一個唔同嘅年代咧，都有啲好有特色嘅展出啦。咁譬如喺佢早期50年代咧，我哋有去立體創作嘅一個木嘅鞋帽呢一個咁樣嘅雕塑作品啦。咁跟住去到60年代咧，我哋有一個銀色雲嘅呢一個裝置啦。咁呢個裝置咧，其實咧就係咧觀眾咧可以行入去嗰個空間度，咁就可以咧去同嗰個銀色雲當中咧穿插啦，可以同嗰啲銀色雲咧有一個互動，可以觸碰到嗰啲作品嘅。
Born and raised in Pittsburgh and from a Slovakian background, Andy Warhol was a sickly child, often in and out of hospital. Frequently bedridden, he became something of an outcast at school and was particularly close to his mother. While he was confined to bed, he drew, listened to the radio, and collected photographs of Hollywood movie stars. His fascination with stars, fame, and money lasted throughout his life. After graduating from the Carnegie Institute of Technology, Warhol left his hometown for New York, where he became a successful illustrator for magazines and various publications. This was when he first came into contact with stars and other celebrities. He started painting portraits on commission in the early 1960s. This developed into the series of silkscreen prints that have become Warhol icons. The exhibition recreates Warhol's factory, his studio in New York, where parties were held and celebrities would visit constantly.
I think a lot of critics who say that Andy was only in it for the money or the fame fail to realize that Andy was a workaholic who was working completely nonstop. So it wasn't as though this came easily. He put his entire life into it, 20 hours a day, quite literally, in order to succeed.
For Warhol, the manufactured objects of contemporary everyday life were as much subjects of art as a landscape or a portrait had once been. For some, his images of Campbell soup cans, Brillo boxes, and other modern manufactured objects were his starkest challenge to tradition. He championed mass production and felt everyone should be able to afford art. When first exhibited, his paintings of a can of Campbell's soup cost $1,500 US. You could buy an original autographed can for $6. The exhibition also features Warhol's photography, which includes many celebrity images and self-portraits.
Warhol, probably more than any artist of the 20th century, really was a mirror to society. that he was absorbing everything in mainstream culture, pushing it back out into the world in the form of art, and in so doing, really somehow making a huge comment about who he was and what his interests were. So every time I look at a Warhol work of art, I see Andy first, that he's embedded right there along with the image itself.
Warhol loved the limelight, glamour and fame, but other aspects of his complex personality also came out in his art. He was both gay and a Catholic. Images of suicide in an electric chair, among others, are quite removed from the pop art images for which he's best known. Complementing the Museum of Art exhibition, the Osage Art Foundation is showing a selection of his films, Hello, It's Me, Goodbye, Andy Warhol's Cinema, which tested the boundaries of film both socially and formally.
Much of Warhol's cinema is about presence and absence. And introduction, Hello, It's Me, and Saying Goodbye captures that, of how he enters a party, Hello, It's Me, Goodbye, and how he approaches cinema, you know, from star presence like the celebrities, and to the end of the film where they turn white, you know, when the film gets white and things disappear.
Early film works such as Empire, Sleep, Screen Tests, Chelsea Girls, Kisses and Blowjob are shown here in installations. Empire is an 8-hour movie consisting of one single static shot of the Empire building from dusk to dawn. As the building seems to be sleeping in the movie, the curators combined it with sleep in an installation called Silver Cloud.
Whether he's using a film or a photograph, there's something really precise about the framing, you know, and this camera is always still. So if it's a photograph, you'd never know it's a photograph. But Empire State Building, someone famously said, "Oh my God, it finally moved. It moved." Someone thought before, this art critic thought it was a photograph.
Andy Warhol's Screen Tests are a series of silent film portraits consisting of several-minute unbroken shots of Warhol's superstars, celebrities, guests and friends. Here, the 13 screen tests are framed as photos on a wall.
These are the 13 screen tests. He's always worked with the number 13. And I thought that putting them in mirror frames would cast a reflection on those people, such as us, looking at the famous icons. So it's a reinterpretation. It's rather than just showing the screen tests, but putting it in a contemporary context.
In the screen tests, the charisma of the celebrities has been washed away. Warhol's stars weren't conventional movie stars. They were bohemian friends like Nico, Joe D'Alessandro, Edie Sedgwick, Viva, Ultraviolet, Holly Woodlawn, and Candy Darling. They were often a camp parody of Hollywood glamour.
He's like an ambiance, you know. Warhol's like a one-man ambiance. He can carry all these contradictions in one room, you know. And I think that's the revelatory power of something that can say hello, present, and then withdraw. And then you just like, what happened? What was that? So he was the phantom of our age.
We'll be back after the break, but before that, it's time for us to mark the sad news of the death of teacher, man of letters, poet, and champion of Hong Kong's own unique culture, Leung Ping Kwan, otherwise known as Yasi.
Last year, he was chosen as Author of the Year at the Hong Kong Book Fair. We spoke to him there.
60年代尾70年代初嘅時候，就唔係好多人寫香港嘅。嗰陣時好似大部分人都覺得好似香港唔值得寫咁。咁我哋本身喺香港大啦，咁就對香港有感情，即係都覺得好似 即係好戥佢唔抵嚇，即係好似其他啲人一講旅行文化就去巴黎或者去邊度，但係即係從來都唔睇翻香港，同埋外邊嚟嘅人又唔係點睇香港咁我自己覺得我對香港都有感情，都有熟悉。咁當時係即係自動咁覺得想去寫多啲翻啲香港，即係講俾先咯，即係人哋聽香港係一個點地方。
Welcome back.
Last month, the West Kowloon Cultural District Authority presented the Free Space Fest on the location that will eventually become Hong Kong's biggest art hub.
The Free Space Fest was curated by cross-disciplinary artists Virginia Hyam, Kung Chi Sing, Daniel Young, and MAD, Hong Kong Institute of Contemporary Culture.
During the 15th and 16th of December, about 20,000 people visited the site for music and dance shows, outdoor performances, and other collaborative activities involving local artists, musicians, street performers, and arts groups, as well as many performers and artists from overseas.
If you want to do it, just do it, man. No one's going to stop you, right? This is free space, man. Hey, 你自由嗎？1000萬嘅單位梗係要有歡呼聲啦！耶！
So what I do is I take jazz conception and I apply to Brazilian rhythms, Brazilian groove, like samba, baião, all you saw the stage tonight. That's it. This is the kind of music I'm trying to do here in Hong Kong. Brazilian jazz, the way I do.
With a PhD in music composition from the University of Hong Kong, Brazilian musician João Mascarenhas has been performing jazz with Scott and DC for a year and a half. They've not only played in bars, but also in a street music series organized by local musician Kung Chi Sing. In December, Kung Chi Sing, curating the music for the Free Space Fest in West Kowloon, asked them to play. It was the first appearance in such a large-scale venue.
You asked me about a comparison between to play in a bar and to play in a stage like that. If you ask me about the Free Space, okay, this is a fantastic venue. Okay, I think it is an excellent idea to have this kind of thing.
I believe that every city, especially Hong Kong, needs a venue like this because this kind of venue provides the opportunity for these new kinds of music and new bands to come out and get heard. And I think it's a fantastic idea.
It's a great venue, actually, because, you know, no police will come and stop you or say, hey, too loud or whatever. And then everybody enjoys over here. It's like they said, free space, right?
Held on the 15th and 16th of December, the Free Space Fest was more than just a two-day event. It was also a look forward at ways of using the future art space in West Kowloon Cultural District's Arts Park and its new performance facility, the Free Space. The park, being a major portion of the 23 hectares of open spaces, is located at the headland of the cultural district with an area of about 14 hectares. Free Space will be both a park facility and a performance venue for contemporary music and cross-boundary performances.
其實兩方面，一方面咧就係聚住啲觀眾啦，同埋開始就吸引啲觀眾嚟試下戶外空間裏邊嘅藝術活動係點樣樣啦。另一方面咧，今次做呢個自由嘢嘅經驗咧，都幫到我哋咧規劃同埋設計我哋將來嗰個公園應該係點樣樣。譬如話我哋公園裏邊要有點樣嘅設施啊，要有幾大嘅草地啊，裏邊啲通路係點樣樣啊，其他嗰啲安排係點樣啊，日頭夜晚係點樣樣啊。 大家對西九將來嗰個公共空間啊，我嘅公園啊，都好多期望嘅咁樣。咁我哋咧就想帶出一個訊息，就俾大家聽咧，就係將來西九嘅公園咧就可以俾大家自由咁樣可以做到唔同嘅活動。咁所以我哋今次咧就做咗今日呢個活動咯。咁呢個活動裏邊咧，除咗有音樂啊、跳舞啊，或者係其他活動之外咧，都容許嗰啲朋友咧自由喺裏邊咧就創意咁樣用呢個空間嚟到做唔同嘅嘢。 呢度咁大個天咁大個海，有好多人咧，我見得到咧，一早已經嚟到咧，就留喺度嚟做野餐啦。我見到有人帶狗仔入嚟啦，咁咧我見到有人喺度踩單車啦，踩下即係 roller skate 啦咁樣樣。咁我覺得呢啲都係平時喺香港大部分公共空間呢啲人唔慣做或者係唔俾做。咁我諗今次我哋都會俾佢大家試下喺呢個空間做呢樣嘢。 我哋每年都會搞唔同嘅活動嘅，咁呢一次自由嘢係我哋自己搞啦，同埋咧我哋都會將來咧同唔同嘅其他嘅團體咧做唔同嘅活動啦。
This is called the heliosphere. It's a nylon sphere filled with helium. And it takes Elena with it. And what we're trying to do is create the illusion of flying. So you don't see the ropes and the movements on the ground.
No, I was a gymnast originally. It feels amazing. It's beautiful views and a really receptive audience. It's great. Sometimes you feel a bit like a movie star, but it's wonderful.
It's absolutely wonderful. This is one of the best backdrops of any outdoor festival that I have ever been to, and I have been doing this for 30 years and seen a few. It's just magic, and it's great for us to perform here.
Founded in 2010 by the Hong Kong Institute of Contemporary Culture, MAD or Make a Difference is a non-profit arts and culture organization. Its stated aim is to enlighten and enrich youngsters to make a change. The collaborative nature of free space gives plenty of scope for creativity.
我覺得最重要嘅話咧，喺 free space 裏邊咧，唔係一個人話事咯，而係真係攞個空間出嚟，真係去邀請唔同嘅人喺呢個空間可以去共創一啲嘅活動，咁先至係 free space 咯。今次咧就 make a difference 創不同咧係係 free space 嘅一個共創項目嘅co-curator。 喺一個 curating 裏邊咧，我哋有3個大嘅方向。第一個大嘅方向咧，我哋揾咗幾個知名度相當高嘅藝術家咧，佢哋帶住一啲學生咧去create 一啲嘅作品。呢啲作品咧就叫 play things， 好似一啲嘅玩嘅東西咁。其實呢啲嘅作品咧係可以咧係同觀眾去互動嘅。咁另外一方面咧，咁就每日都有100幾檔嘅一啲原創嘅手作嘅擺賣，從中係睇到咧香港嘅年青人真係佢哋有好多原創嘅一啲嘅產品，只要我哋俾空間俾佢咧，其實係大受歡迎嘅。策劃嘅最後一部分咧，我哋係一個 open call 嚟嘅，鼓勵邊個係有一個 proposal， 有一個建議書，我哋有草地，我哋有空間，如果大家有諗法嘅話咧，咁咧就可以去嚟俾個意見書俾我哋，咁我哋就派錢又派地。
Soccer player turned artist Him Lo submitted his proposal, Let's Play Football, to the open call for participants. As part of his project, 7 teams from the local community took part in the football championship on 16th December on a flat area of the West Kowloon Cultural District.
喺香港，我唔明好多公園可能你坐喺度、瞓喺度、草地咁已經俾人趕。咁今次喺呢度嘅時候，其實講緊自由嘢啊嘛，咁所以就希望一個開放嘅態度咯，因為我覺得即係你有文化嗰個態度，你嘅睇法係點樣，你先醖釀到一個公共空間嘅使用。
But from the beginning, music has been intended to be a major part of Free Space, which is planned to feature round-the-clock performances and services and late-night shows. For the December Free Space Fest, local band Chill Home found it a spectacular venue.
今日都好正，當然今日好正嘅，今日好正。
我哋顧及到唔同年齡層嘅需要啊，非常之咁激情啊！即係比較想象中香港其實好多人都流住搖滾嘅血咯，我覺得。
咁今次咧可以喺西九龍呢個咁闊落寬敞嘅空間咧，裏邊搞個咁大型嘅音樂節咧，咁我覺得係好開心嘅一件事嚟㗎。咁就俾好多唔同嘅香港人咧，就都可以睇到唔同嘅香港文化、音樂文化、本地樂隊嘅唔同多元化音樂啊。
你話如果去設咁嘅規模性嘅，可能係去到香港以外啦，譬如國內啦、台灣啊、澳門嗰啲就會有咯。係啦，即係希望香港會未來嘅日子會多啲呢啲咁嘅規模嘅搖滾樂，或者唔係搖滾樂，總之係一啲藝術性或者音樂嘅表演。